More chances in the second half, but unfortunately just a point today. So how did you feel about the match?
Yeah, disappointed with the results. Once we opened the game and we're 1-0 up and in full control of the game, we conceded a very poor goal, a goal that against them is going to happen. So we're in total control in the final third, and we allowed a big transition and leads to a corner that you have to defend first, second, third phase. And what we do there against a team like Brentford, not good enough. And then, when you don't do what you have to do, very likely against this team, you're going to concede a goal.
Yeah, why did you feel that happened at the time? Because they did have space to move the ball in the build-up. Of course, it was a good finish from Wissa, but they did have time to move the ball.
No, we don't defend the space next to the taker well enough, and we allow the runner inside the box, and after that is a lottery. The delivery is good. We just throw back in the line, which we should never do, but that's how we concede.
It would be kind of human nature to drop a little bit the levels of energy and performance after midweek, but how did you feel in terms of the attitude today?
No, I mean, the attitude or energy, you see the team that at the end we have to play with 10 men because Jorginho cannot continue, and the team plays forward and starts to attack, and he wants to have, and we have two big opportunities to score the goal. He cannot certainly about energy. We are ready. Always, we play every 3 days. We are so used to it, so that's not an excuse.
I saw you were very frustrated with the challenge from Norgard to Martinelli. So how did you feel there?
Yeah, I think my reaction tells everything.
A red card?
My reaction tells everything.
Does it make it even more frustrating that during the season you were on the other end of some questionable red cards?
Yeah, you've been very gentle with that word.
I'm trying. Well, Partey's goal. A great finish, but also a really good reaction from Raya, who saw quickly the space and built that break.
Yeah, great. It's one of the things against them. They commit a lot of players in the box in every set piece, so it's an opportunity in open spaces to hurt them, and the action was really, really good.
And finally now, Madrid, you've been through a lot with this squad, with this group of players. So how do you see them in terms of all the progress you made throughout the years to take up a challenge, manage this scoreline that you got here and go to the Bernabeu?
Yeah, now it's time to recover well, and tomorrow we start to prepare the most beautiful game of the season.
Super.
Thank you.
Who knows what happens after that. He was not happy, was he? He was pretty frustrated. He's frustrated with dropping points from the leading position again, and he's also frustrated about that challenge on Martinelli, which he felt was punishable by a red card. Steve had his say at half-time. Jamie, what's your take on this?
Well, very rarely do you see a red card for this. Look, it's not a great tackle. It's actually a tackle that can hurt people because you can see it's a twist in motion on Martinelli's knee. But if he would have given him a red card there, we would say, well, okay, every time that happens, it's a red. It is a yellow.
But what if he was injured in the challenge?
It's not a great tackle, I'm saying, but it is a real risk. I've seen plenty of times. I actually had a bad injury from someone doing a very similar tackle like that to me. And it can happen because you get your leg caught under it and it twists your knee. He's obviously lucky it doesn't happen in this situation. But I don't feel, because of the rules and everything, that normally is never a red card. So we can't start asking for them now. Mikel Arteta should be more frustrated that his team didn't win the game than that. And a lot of the time it always feels like, it's a conspiracy against him and his team. It isn't. Some of the decisions that have been made, I feel have been red cards, and others, that's sometimes the way it goes. And at the moment he probably feels that we're on the, things aren't quite going our way. I think he should be really looking at the performances this season. That's why they're 10 points behind Liverpool.
Do you agree with? They find this guy. He becomes the sort of understudy to Ivan Toney, as he was explaining to us, and then he gets his opportunity. And my goodness me, he's taken it.
Absolutely, because it felt for a long time he was always the player that would come on as an impact sub, if you like, and nobody likes to have that sort of label. But once Ivan Toney left, you did feel or worry a little bit for what would happen for Brentford after that, because when you've got a player and it's such a talisman, such a leader. When you spoke about Brentford, you spoke about Ivan Toney. Once he left, it's been almost seamless. And then you've seen like Brian and Burmo, and then you've seen Wissa, and you've seen other players, and they seem to have flourished in this role. And he's certainly one of them. And it's some of the goals that he's scored and the improvisation for that finish. And
well, let's see.
It was certainly a ploy because. Should we go straight to his goal?
Let's do that first.
It was a really smart finish. I think that was you used a clever finish, smart finish, and you can see what Brentford obviously do. Brentford and Arsenal are two best at set pieces and keeping the ball alive, and this is what they do extremely well. And Burmo takes this one. Arsenal obviously clear the lines to start with, and then once it goes back out, you can see then that Arsenal have got all their players back, but Brentford, I would say, have got a nice situation just developing at that back post. Nathan Collins is the person. He's got himself, I think that's Saliba, yes, at the back post. Burmo does ever so well. Coyote's come on as a sub, who was really good. He came on, he showed a load of enthusiasm and getting into good positions. He's going to make a really smart overlap pass around Brian and Burmo here. And once he takes that first touch, now you're looking to stand it up to the back post. And as I mentioned before, there's Nathan Collins in that area. And Visser has got himself into what I would call a lovely position just between the whips of the post. As that ball gets stood up, Nathan Collins does so well to get above Saliba, just nods it back. He just rotates his body and then manages to just improvise beautifully and get that sort of what I would call a hooked finish. It's a really clever goal, isn't it?
Sort of able to protect the ball from the defender as well in that same instance.
Well, what's key about this is he knows his surroundings the whole time. You can see him in the middle of the pitch here.
It's a little dink, by the way, isn't it?
It's a great little dink, yeah. As soon as he goes in there, he's not worried about even the way that he takes it, where as the ball's bouncing up as well. He's not looking for power. He's just looking. He knows he's so close to the goal. He's inside the 6-yard box. Any good contact on that's going to go goal bound. And he's got a good purchase. He's got a hell of a chance of getting
brilliant
back in the net.
Header as well.
Superb.
Because he's got it almost on the corner of his head. You know, it's one of those, can I just get it back into the danger area? And then he hooks it.
He takes it early, doesn't he? He doesn't wait for it to come down. He takes it as it's going up. It's a great finish. And that all comes down, as I said, from the whereabouts. You know exactly his pitch geography, where he is.
Yeah.
But Brentford corners don't always go their way.
No, but they set up in a certain way. I think back to early in the season, I think it was their first away game against Liverpool, where what they tried to do is almost sort of ring fence the box. Arsenal bring everybody back, as we can see here, and then they've got two players, Keane Lewis-Potter, and that's Jan out there. And what they will try to do, Arsenal, because there's absolutely no doubt in my mind, they were trying to spring attacks all the time. As soon as they won the ball, when they got the ball into Raya's hands, how quickly can we break? So this wasn't the goal. This was a couple. We've got 3 or 4 of these examples. Brentford play it short, they get the ball into the box. And now, as soon as that ball goes into Raya's hands, I just want to slow it up a little bit. Hold on 1 second. He is now going to, as quickly as he can, try and throw it. This time, you can see, obviously, Declan Rice is in there. They're trying to block him to stop him because they know that can be a counter-attack. There's Declan Rice, who's going to try and get on the end of this one. You've got Martinelli and Waneri as well down that side. Doesn't quite work, but it was definitely a plan. There's 3 or 4 examples of this, but every time Brentford had a set piece, then they tried to play in that area. Arsenal were looking to exploit that. Let's go now to the goal.
So Arsenal know they're vulnerable, and Brentford know they're vulnerable as well.
Absolutely. This time they're even further up the pitch. Now there's Norgard. I can't remember who that would have been. Anyway, I can't see him on this side here, but we're going to see him as it evolves. The ball goes into Raya's hands. Oh, that's it. It's Keane Lewis-Potter. Now it's like the red arrows. You can see it. So that's going to be Martinelli. There's the goal scorer. Declan Rice, I think. Where is Declan? I think Declan.
It's like the starting pistol, isn't it? As soon as he catches it.
And they're going to see. Watch Brentford. They're going to try and stop this counter-attack.
Just before you go on, Joe, what's great about this is that some of them, and we've seen it before, that some cheat before it's secure. Do you know, especially from a striker or an attacker point of view. And when that ball goes over the head, they're expecting a keeper to claim it. They're off already. They're waiting to know that it's safe, and then they go.
Look at the pace they go at. See, Declan Rice, obviously that's Damsgaard makes a big mistake. He tries to win the ball. And Johan Visser mentioned to us, I tried to get back to help my team. We just can't get back quickly enough. There's 8 players that get back. But that just shows you the intensity. And I want to just talk about Damsgaard because I sort of feel his pain a bit here. I'm just going to just take that back just a little bit. Now, he has 2 decisions to make. One, which he should have done, is does he run back with Martinelli? Or does he go and try to get onto Declan Rice? It's brilliant by the goalkeeper. It's almost like just temping bowling, bowls it out to Declan, and then you can see, obviously, there's Thomas Partey. But Damsgaard puts the brakes on and tries to go and get the ball. And Declan is exactly what Declan Rice wants because he knows he can just manipulate the ball past him. There he goes. He gets it. Now it's too late. And now you've got a 3v2.
Especially given his running power as well.
Yeah, that's where he's got all the power. What I love with Deck towards the end of that, he has a glance. We'll see it more probably in this view here.
A nice one.
And it's a really good first touch, isn't it?
Yeah. The touch takes Damsgaard. I was saying, if I was Damsgaard, could I have? Because if it was me, I'd just try and bear hug him and take him down. What I love this is though that he's had one glance there. He hasn't looked again at all. He knows that pass is on the whole time, and if the weight of pass is right, he's got a one-touch finish.
We've measured this at approximately, I have to say, 55 metres that he carries the ball for. Mickey van der Ven carried the ball for an assist for 56 metres at the start of this season.
United.
Yes.
So I think what Declan does really well is once he knows he's got a situation arising, so as Visser comes to him, he has to take that ball inside just to take Johan Visser off that line, and then he can play it with his right foot, with the outside of the right foot perfectly. Because, again, Johan has two decisions to make. Does he go to the ball or does he stay with Thomas Partey? Whatever he did, he was damned if he did, damned if he didn't. But a really good piece of play, great counter-attack, and you thought at that point Arsenal will probably go on and win the game. But like Steve said, not with this Brentford side. They just don't give up.
But it just shows, in terms of Declan Rice, how unique he is as a midfield player when he can strike those free kicks like he can, but also that side of the game.
I think he's near enough a complete midfield player. His passing ability, short and long, is great with both feet. His positioning out of possession, the stuff that he does, where he cuts passes off, and then when he's got the ball, the quality he's got as well, and then his engine. I think they call him the horse. Maybe I think his teammates call him the horse, and he's got that. He's got that locker to drive and the quality of passes as well. To get the next step up to the next level, he's got to get more assists and more goals, and he's definitely more capable of doing
another assist.
I'm going to be interested to see what happens with him next season, because Thomas Partey, I think, is coming to the end of his contract. I don't think he looks like whether he's going to sign another year. Do they maybe bring Declan Rice into a number 6 position? I think if you asked him, I don't know, I think he would rather play there. I think he's got two attributes.
There's been talk of Zubimendi as well, potentially.
Possibly, and they've got obviously a lot of great players in that midfield position. It might be an area where that feels like a simple one. If you bring in Zubimendi, obviously he's a super talent as well. But it does fit. When he first arrived here, it felt like they bought him as a defensive midfield player. But Mikel Arteta has found himself playing obviously further forward. He's getting assists and goals. But I personally, I just feel it seems to suit him playing deeper. But right now, he's in a great moment, scoring goals and assisting.
We wondered if Bukayo Saka would be kept in cotton wool on the bench or unleashed on this game to try and win it for Arsenal, and that was certainly the case. And might you have had a goal, Steve?
Yeah, I mean I think. The touch isn't great from Flecken, is it? It
Explain
gives
to
him a
us
chance.
why you think he doesn't shoot when he after that first touch.
I don't know whether he's just come on. He's a little bit cold. Saka in form there, whips it straight away. Whether he's just had to get going into the game, but an in form Saka that we know he is. He's always obviously been out for a long time. Scored on his comeback game against Fulham, but when he's firing, he fires that one in the near post, no problems.
Coyote did well to get back, didn't he? He showed great speed to get back and help the goalkeeper, because, like Steve said, it wasn't the best touch you've ever seen.
Yeah, Bukayo Saka with a chance to take that beyond Brentford. It wasn't to be. There are going to be twists and turns, by the way. At the Emirates Stadium, they managed to find an equaliser, and I'm delighted to say the goal scorer, Johan Visser, is waiting to speak to us now. Congratulations, Johan. Thanks for speaking to us. Tell us what it's like to perform as well as that against such a good team as Arsenal.
Hello everyone. It's really hard. It's really hard to perform against these guys. I think they are in very, very good shape. We struggle the first half. To be fair, I had the feeling like it was a boring game first half for us, and second half like we tried to had more chance to go more forward, and of course we consider on counter. I think we could avoid, and after that we just try to make sure like we come back, and we know that we are strong on set pieces. And to be fair, the goal I scored is this kind of goal I scored in training, so I was quite happy to score that goal, especially today.
Well, we've seen you do that lots of times. We'll come to that in just a moment, Johan. But you said it was a struggle in the first half. Why do you think that was?
I don't know. A bit of everything. Sometimes you can be a bit too much stressed, too more emotional against these guys, and they are very good on the ball. They are very good players. So I don't know. Sometimes we just pull the ball away. I think we could stay. I think we could stay more calm on the ball. This is what we've done straight after on the second half. I think that's the good thing. I'm happy with the guys.
Johan, congratulations on a good point and obviously your goal. Talk us through it. It's a really smart finish.
Yeah. No, I know the target was back stick. And as soon as I see the Nath hit the ball, I knew I could definitely had a chance to finish. But I let the ball go, and I know just put the ball on target. And when it's like that, it's really close with on the goalkeeper. It's hard to save it. Just try to put on target, and it was a tough hit, I would say.
And I like that smile. 15 goals for you this season, 15 Premier League goals. It feels to me it's like you're in the form of your life. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, that's fair. That's really fair. First of all, because I had very good conversation with Thomas. He gave me a lot of love, a lot of confidence, and after that I need to just step forward with the guys, talk with them, and after that, after the first, second, third goals, you just go through, and I think I step up my game as well on the ball, protect more the balls and try to link the play. I think I'm definitely from my life, especially in Premier League, because I know it's really, really tough. So I need to be more stronger than ever, especially when I play as a striker. But I'm good because Thomas gives me a lot of freedom and he trusts me. So I'm really pleased with that.
Tell us about that conversation, Johan, with your manager. Was that something that you sought him out, or did he come to you because he maybe saw that you were struggling a little bit with confidence?
To be fair, we had the conversation end of last year about the fact I will be the striker because I started playing well end of the last year. And this year I knew I'm going to play a striker, and Thomas just come to me and said of course we know Ivan is leaving, but I trust you. We bring Thiago just to be you two together in front, and lucky he's been injured, so I know I need to step up my level. The guys trust me, so yeah, he just he knows how well I play and how hard I work, because this is the only thing he wants from a player. So and after that, give me a lot of freedom. Of course, he helps when he score goals, but I think that's the only thing he helped me a lot. That's the confidence he give it to me, and the trust, especially because I know what I can do on the pitch. But if you don't trust me, I can be a bit frustrated or scared to do something. But I think he gave me a lot of love, and this is what I need.
Johan, tell us about the attitude and the mentality of yourself and this Brentford team that just doesn't know when it's beat. So many times you come back from a goal behind, and when you get yourselves back in it, you look to win the game and salvage some points.
That's the thing. We are a team. I think, as you can see, we had the same 11 almost every time. It's only one or two changes by game, but we know you can trust to each other. Even the goal we concede, you can see how hard I try to come back. Even I'm a striker, but it's this mentality, take not everything for granted. We are lucky to be in Premier League, but we need to work hard, and to be safe in Premier League is not easy thing. So I think that's the thing. That's the mentality Thomas wants us to have. And yes, just try to be. Try to understand the way we are lucky to stay in Premier League, and how we need to work hard to win game, because every point is really important, and that we know that.
Well, Johan, we wish you well for the rest of this season and beyond. Thank you very much for talking to us. Really interesting to hear from you.